Health Matters is brought to you by Allianz, international health insurance cover for individuals and families working and living abroad. Noise pollution, a silent health threat.
Have you ever really stopped to notice that constant background hum? Maybe it's traffic, maybe construction noise that just grinds on. It's so easy to just, tune it out, right? Call it city noise, just an annoyance. But what if it's actually more than that? What if it's a hidden danger seriously impacting your health? Today, we're doing a deep dive into exactly that, noise pollution, our mission, to really unpack how it affects you, physically and mentally. We're talking surprising body reactions, even chronic diseases you'd maybe never link to sound. And importantly, we'll get into some practical things you can actually do about it. We've looked at some heavy hitters for this, thanks to the World Health Organization, research from places like Harvard Medicine Magazine, PubMed Central, even specific cardiology studies.
It really is striking, isn't it? We worry so much about pollution. We see or smell, but sound. It's visible and maybe even more insidious because we just get used to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, as the research shows, it's way more than annoying. Prolonged exposure makes it a serious health risk.
That's the key point, isn't it? Prolonged exposure. And it sounds like our bodies react even if our minds have, filtered the noise out. How does that work, that automatic stress reaction?
Absolutely. The WHO, they've been quite clear on this. Rising urban noise, especially traffic, it hits our mental well-being, our cardiovascular system, even our metabolism. And the crucial thing is, even if you think you're ignoring it, that drone of the city, your nervous system doesn't ignore it. It flags it as a potential threat. So automatically, you get this low-level stress response. The fight-or-flight system kicks in just a little bit all the time, even if you're just relaxing on the sofa. And that constant activation, it's exhausting for the body long-term.
Wow. So we're basically on a low simmer of high alert without even realizing it. That's quite something. And I guess one of the most immediate casualties of that constant alert status is our sleep.
Precisely. Constant loud noise is terrible for sleep. It can lead straight to insomnia, other sleep disorders too. There's a lot in PubMed Central about this, how noise pollution messes with sleep quality. So even if you sleep, you wake up tired. And, good sleep is fundamental for mental health. So disrupting it just starts this downward cycle. Fatigue, stress, more fatigue.
Yeah, and it's not just feeling cranky from bad sleep, is it? I saw something, I think, in the Harvard Medicine piece about cortisol. That noise actually boosts stress hormones.
That's right. It activates the body's full-on stress response. You get significantly higher cortisol levels. So we're definitely talking chronic stress.
Okay, chronic stress. What does that do to us? What are the ripple effects?
Well, that's where it gets really problematic. Chronically high cortisol driven by noise. It weakens your immune system. It impairs cognitive function, trouble focusing, memory issues. And crucially, it significantly increases anxiety and depression. The research is pretty clear. Chronic noise exposure can directly cause or certainly worsen these conditions, especially in cities where it's just relentless.
So it's a tangible, measurable hit to our mental health, not just a feeling.
Exactly. It's physiological.
Okay, that's already huge. But the effects, they don't stop at mental health, do they? This is where I think people might be really surprised. The physical impacts, especially on the heart.
Indeed. This isn't just in your head. Chronic noise exposure is linked to serious cardiovascular problems, hypertension, high blood pressure, and even ischemic heart disease. That's when the heart muscle isn't getting enough blood. The WHO is unequivocal here. They call long-term exposure to high sound levels a significant environmental risk for heart disease. It directly pushes up blood pressure, increases heart rate, even at levels many of us consider just normal background noise.
And there was something more specific too, isn't there? Something about the arteries themselves.
Yes. You're probably thinking of that study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. Really important work. They found noise exposure can cause endothelial dysfunction. Basically, the inner lining of your blood vessels, it stops working properly. And that dysfunction is a key first step towards atherosclerosis, the buildup of plaque, fats, cholesterol on the artery walls.
So that constant background noise, it's literally helping to clog up our arteries?
In a nutshell, yes. It's contributing directly to the conditions that lead to heart attacks and strokes. It's a silent threat in that sense.
Truly alarming. Okay, so we have stress impacting the heart directly, but you mentioned metabolism earlier too. Is there an even more surprising link? Could noise pollution actually play a role in something like diabetes?
It's a great question. And the answer seems to be yes, indirectly. It's not that the noise itself causes diabetes, but the stress it induces. That chronic noise-induced stress can lead to metabolic changes. Think hormonal imbalances, inflammation throughout the body. And research, again looking at PubMed data, suggests these stress-driven changes are known factors in developing type 2 diabetes. It's a chain reaction we often overlook.
Just shows how interconnected everything is, our environment, our stress levels, our deep physiological processes.
Wow. Okay, so we've laid it out pretty clearly. Noise isn't just irritating background stuff. It's a genuine threat to our health, sleep, stress, mental well-being, heart health, even metabolism. But, and this is crucial, it's not hopeless. Understanding this stuff is powerful because it means we can take action. And the sources, like Harvard Medicine, suggest it's a mix, right? Things we can do ourselves and bigger picture community things. Exactly. It needs both. On the individual level, you can definitely start taking back control of your immediate sound environment. Simple things first. Soundproofing your space. Maybe heavy curtains, double-glazed windows if that's an option. Even just adding rugs and carpets can absorb a surprising amount of noise. It helps create a quieter home base.
Right. And then for when you're out or need real quiet focus, noise-canceling tech, headphones, earbuds, they can be a total game changer, can't they?
Absolutely. For commuting, for open offices, even just for getting some peace at home. Or simple earplugs for sleeping better. They directly reduce the noise input, which cuts down stress and helps concentration. Like creating your own little bubble of quiet.
That's a good way to put it. What else individually?
You can also consciously create quiet zones, designate a room, or even just a corner in your home, or maybe even negotiate something at work. A dedicated space where noise is deliberately kept to a minimum. A sanctuary, really.
Like a mental recharge station. Makes sense.
Yeah. And don't underestimate tools you already have within you. Mindfulness and relaxation techniques, things like meditation, deep breathing, yoga. They don't stop the noise, obviously, but they help you manage the stress the noise causes. They build up your mental resilience.
So you cope better even when the noise is unavoidable. Okay. And what about the bigger picture, the community stuff?
That's vital, too. Individual actions help, but we also need collective effort. Advocacy and community action. This means getting involved, maybe locally. Supporting noise regulations, pushing for urban planning that actually considers noise, like designing buildings better, creating more green spaces which act as natural sound buffers, promoting quieter transport options.
So raising awareness and pushing for systemic changes.
Exactly. It benefits everyone and tackles the problem at its source.
Okay, so wrapping this up. Noise pollution. It's pervasive. It has serious health consequences, mental and physical, but crucially, there are things we can do, both personally in our own lives and together as communities. We really hope this deep dive encourages you to, take some proactive steps, reduce noise where you can, protect yourself, and maybe even think about advocating for quieter, shared spaces.
And just as a final thought to leave you with,
Yeah.
imagine if we, collectively, really focused on turning down the volume, reducing ambient noise across the board. How might that not just improve individual health, but actually change the feel of our towns and cities, change how we interact, how we experience living together in this increasingly noisy world?
What would a truly quieter, healthier world actually feel like? Something to think about.
Health Matters was brought to you by Allianz, international health insurance cover for individuals and families working and living abroad.